Joy loved the city life. Its bustling streets, sparkling lights, and endless variety of restaurants brought her a kind of joy she thought she couldn't find anywhere else. A self-proclaimed foodie, Joy knew every eatery in town and never missed a chance to try the latest culinary hotspot. Cooking. That was for others. She'd convinced herself that her small kitchen was more for decoration than use. Why stress over cooking when the best chefs in the city are just a phone call away, she would tell Ifeoma, her housemate and polar opposite, who thrived on homemade meals. But all that changed one fateful day. Joy had been eagerly waiting to try a newly opened upscale restaurant, the Royal Spoon. Its reputation for serving exotic dishes had everyone talking. Dressed in her best outfit and radiating excitement, she made her way to the restaurant. The ambience was everything she hoped for. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and soft jazz music floated in the air. After scanning the glossy menu, she ordered her favorite, a classic plate of fried rice and chicken with a side of freshly pressed pineapple juice. The dish arrived looking perfect, vibrant colors, tantalizing aroma, and a garnish that screamed luxury. Joy took a bite, savoring the flavors as a contented smile spread across her face. She'd already made up her mind to recommend the place to her friends. But as she reached the bottom of her plate, her fork froze midair. There it was, a dead cockroach, partially hidden beneath a piece of chicken. Her heart sank. Nausea swept over her, and she pushed the plate away in horror. "Excuse me, waiter," she called, trying to remain calm. The waiter rushed over, his polite demeanor faltering as he saw the offending insect. I'm so sorry, ma'am," he stammered. "This is unacceptable. Please allow me to." But Joy wasn't interested in excuses. She left the restaurant immediately, her appetite ruined and her trust shattered. The next morning, Joy woke up feeling unwell. At first, she blamed it on stress from the previous day's incident, but by evening, her condition had worsened. Feverish and nauseous, she was rushed to the hospital, where the doctor diagnosed her with severe food poisoning. "You've been lucky this time," the doctor said gravely. "But foodborne illnesses can be fatal. You need to be more cautious about what you eat." Joy nodded weakly, but deep down, she dismissed the warning. One bad experience couldn't possibly mean all restaurants were unsafe, could it? It wasn't until 3 weeks later, when she fell ill again after another meal out, that the reality began to sink in. This time, the symptoms were worse, leaving her bedridden for days. As she lay there, weak and frustrated, she thought of Ifeoma's words, "Cooking at home isn't just healthier, it's a form of self-respect." Determined to uncover the truth, Joy decided to take matters into her own hands. She returned to the Royal Spoon under the pretense of giving them another chance. Halfway through her meal, she excused herself and asked the waitress for the restroom. On her way, she passed the kitchen and paused. The door was slightly ajar, offering her a glimpse inside. What she saw left her speechless. The kitchen was a mess of chaos and filth. Dirty dishes piled up in every corner, flies hovered over uncovered food, and the stench of rotting vegetables filled the air. The staff worked carelessly, some without gloves, while the head chef wiped his sweat with a towel before using it to dry his hands. Joy's stomach churned. How had she been so blind? She realized she'd been gambling with her health every time she ate out. That night, Joy returned home and did something she hadn't done in years. She stepped into her kitchen. The once pristine space was dusty and unused, but it held potential. She called Ifeoma, who came over with bags of fresh ingredients and an encouraging smile. "It's never too late to learn," Ifeoma said, tying an apron around Joy's waist. Together, they prepared a simple meal, rice, vegetables, and grilled fish. Joy's first attempts were clumsy. She burned the onions and added too much salt, but Ifeoma's patience never wavered. By the time they sat down to eat, Joy felt a sense of accomplishment she hadn't experienced in years. "It's not perfect, but it's mine," she said, smiling as she tasted her creation. In the weeks that followed, Joy threw herself into learning to cook. She watched tutorials, experimented with recipes, and even enrolled in a weekend culinary class. Her initial hesitation turned into genuine enthusiasm as she discovered the joy of creating meals from scratch. Soon, Joy's kitchen became the heart of her home. She invited friends over for dinner, impressing them with dishes she'd once thought impossible to make. Her health improved, her confidence grew, and she found a newfound appreciation for the simple, wholesome act of cooking. One evening, as Joy was plating a dish of jollof rice and grilled chicken, her phone buzzed. It was Paul, her ex-boyfriend, who had broken up with her years ago over her refusal to learn how to cook. "Joy," his message read, "I've been thinking about you lately. Can we talk?" Curious but cautious, Joy agreed to meet him. Over coffee, Paul apologized for his past behavior, admitting he'd been immature and unfair. "I hear you've become an amazing cook," he said with a sheepish smile. Joy laughed. "Let's just say I've come a long way." Their conversations reignited the spark they once had, but this time, their bond was deeper. Joy's newfound independence and growth inspired Paul, and he admired the woman she'd become. Months later, they married in a small, intimate ceremony. Joy's home-cooked meals became a cherished part of their lives, symbolizing not just love but also resilience and transformation. Joy's journey didn't just change her life, it inspired those around her. She started a blog sharing her cooking experiences, encouraging others to embrace the art of homemade meals. Her story became a testament to the power of self-reliance and the beauty of taking control of one's health and happiness. Looking back, Joy realized that the cockroach incident wasn't a disaster, it was the wake-up call she needed. And for that, she was grateful. The moral lesson of this story teaches us that appearances can often be deceiving. It's important to take the time to understand the origins of the food you consume. No matter how busy life gets, your health should never be compromised. Additionally, prioritize your loved ones, especially your children. Time invested in them is never wasted. True love is about having the best interest of others at heart. Instead of walking away from someone because of a flaw, consider whether they are willing to grow or change. Meaningful relationships are built on patience, understanding, and mutual effort. If you love this story, please subscribe to my channel for more amazing stories, and to encourage us to do more, turn on the bell notification button and comment what you think about the story in the comment section. Stay blessed, stay safe and stay healthy.